Hi besties! It's day 4 of the Artist's Way, the journey, and I'm gonna sit down to do my morning pages now. And today is also the day we take ourselves for an artist date, so I'm really excited. And let's get this day started. So we're sitting in my balcony, which is where I love doing my journaling, and this is the roundup of books. I have The Artist's Way. This is the journal in which I do my morning pages. This is the art thinking book that I spoke about in my previous video. And the second time I'm gonna be reading The Third Door. Let's start journaling. Okay, so I actually want to talk to you guys about this one realization that I kind of had yesterday. So I have realized that I'm pretty nasty to myself in my own head. And one of the ways that I'm nasty is being very hard on myself for the choices that I make on a day-to-day basis in this stage of my life, right? And I was just wondering, so yesterday I did leg day at the gym, for example, and I also played badminton later on in the evening. And the voice in my head was like, oh my god, you didn't do anything productive today. You were just out there exercising and like whiling away your time. And as I was walking back from my badminton court, I had this sort of epiphany, which was like, you know what, when I look back 10 years down the line at this stage of my life, I'm gonna think that it's so freaking cool that I chose to exercise and have a routine for myself every single day. And I feel like we don't realize that a lot about our life on a day-to-day basis, that we constantly want it to look a different way, like the grass is always greener on the other side. We constantly, it's like you have this life and you constantly want your life to look different, and then when it looks different you want back the life you used to have, and it's a never-ending cycle. So yesterday I was like, wait, what if I just decide to be happy about the fact that I'm doing all of these cool things and I have the opportunity to take care of my health and my well-being on a day-to-day basis right now. Who knows if I'll have that kind of access and opportunity in the future. I think that's a pretty cool rewiring or a thought to have. Like, how freaking cool is it that I have the time to do the artist's way without having added responsibilities right now, without having to make time when time is already with me. How cool is that I can create content on a day-to-day basis? Like, how cool is a lot of things in our life without us even realizing it, and constantly like comparing ourselves to others in our own head, and just forgetting that we're living lives that we prayed for a long time. Like, I know as a 13 or a 15-year-old, I really envisioned a life where I had enough time to just paint and play my favorite sport. That's all I cared about. That I had access to a home that felt safe enough for me to just be my loudest, most bold self. And I am all of those things right now. How absolutely cool is that? Literally, all that matters to me is that my 15-year-old self thinks I'm really cool right now. Like, I feel like that's such a driving factor, such a helpful driving factor for a lot of us. So, as part of the program, there are a couple of tasks that we need to complete each week, and I'm gonna do one of them today, and it is time travel. List 3 old enemies of your creative self. Please be as specific as possible in doing this exercise. Your historic monsters are the building blocks of your core negative beliefs. This is your monster hall of fame. More monsters will come to you as you work through your recovery. It's always necessary to acknowledge creative injuries and grieve them. Otherwise, they become creative scar tissues and block your growth. So I'm going to talk about one such monster that comes to mind, and honestly, it's social media. Like, I am not even kidding. I feel like social media has been the biggest wrecker of my creative self-worth because of the constant comparison. And one aspect of social media, especially Instagram, that really ticks me off is this culture of clickbaits and the culture of visual or storytelling hooks. And as a consumer, as a creator, I understand that it's very important to have them in place to grab people's attention, boost your views and your engagement and your reach and all of those like technical sides to the profession or to the business. But as a consumer, it is sometimes not sometimes, a lot of the time, a majority of the time, so damaging to my psyche and my self-worth, because it constantly makes me feel like I'm not doing enough, or that I am not aware enough, or I'm not informed enough, you know, especially when hooks are like, this is why you are still stuck in so and so, or this is why you're not growing as a person, or this is why, like, yeah, I'm aware, and people grow at their own pace. Like, it's a very double-edged sword, right? Like, there is that element of cultivating awareness on a lot of topics, whether it's relationships, whether it's business, whether it's education, whether it's health and well-being. But there is a very thin line between literally attacking a person's self-esteem versus educating them. And I feel like social media really blurs out that line. Like, remember how in my previous video I talked about how I constantly feel like my ideas are not good enough because like 20 other people have already done them, or 20 other people have already done them like 20 times better. Social media is also very vortex-like, because you don't realize that the person who's doing it better, quote unquote, for example, is like 20 chapters ahead, is like 20 steps ahead of you. They are in a different point of their journey, which is allowing them to express the way that they do. And I feel like that is one space where we don't realize that all of us have different journeys, all of us have different paces, and it's very easy to forget that in the digital space. I feel like that's one of the more unfortunate sides of social media. It's not a blanket statement. This is not to say that social media does not have its pros, but I simply spoke of the cons today. We are on our way to the gym. Hi besties, we're back home. So we finished going to the gym, and I also cleaned my entire room because my best friend's coming to sleep over and I'm so excited to have her. And I honestly had such a productive day, and I know that it's not entirely because of the morning pages, but I feel like it's definitely a significant part of it. I had a couple of major breakthroughs, and I did grieve, like I did cry while writing my morning pages, especially that task which said list your enemies to the creative self, the Monster Hall of Fame. Oh my god, so I'm like carrying that energy with me and it feels so incredible. So now we're gonna get ready to go on our artist date. I literally have these 2 bags full of art supplies, and I really want to commit to my inner child. So I'm gonna leave at 4 and it's 3:25 now, which gives me enough time to peacefully get ready. Honestly, I'm a little nervous. I'm hoping that the cafe that I'm going to is not crowded, because I still get very anxious and a little conscious when I'm filming in public, and I'm mostly gonna be using my mic because it's gonna be pretty noisy outside. So yeah, wish me luck. This is my outfit. The jewelry was given to me by my friends for my birthday. Okay, I've officially reached the area where the cafe is, and I'm walking towards the cafe. This is so nerve-wracking. I feel like people are just looking at me already because of my outfit, and now also because I'm literally talking to my phone, but we're gonna deal with it. Okay, so I reached the cafe. Unfortunately for me, it's really crowded, but I did find this quaint spot where I'm a little comfortable recording as well. And I just ordered my coffee, and it's gonna be here in some time, and I'm gonna get started with my art date now. This is what we have so far. I'm trying to paint the scenery here. I'm actually having so much fun. I haven't let my inner artist just like have fun and just play with it, and being caffeine high really helps. But I'm genuinely having so much fun. I think the last time I did something like this was, I don't know, a year ago, 2 years ago. But even then, like, I never had the guts to do it in public. Like, I would always be worried if like someone's watching, or if someone's gonna say something. And honestly, through that. Oh, I also had like this one sort of breakthrough moment when I was doing my morning pages.
So there's this Instagram creator that I follow who goes by the handle Inspired to Write, and I absolutely adore her content. Like, she is so raw and honest, and she's a writer, author, artist, so many things. And she posts a lot of these quotes that resonate with like artists. And one quote that she came up with was, "You don't get burnt out creating art; you get burnt out creating content." And I was like, ooh, like, it's sinking in more now that I'm actually in that zone of like really honing my creativity and really honing my artistry. Like, I was just like, oh my god, like that makes so much sense. Because honestly, I haven't been feeling very called to like post Instagram content, because like I mentioned in my previous video, like it feels really performative and I don't like how that feels. And just letting myself create with no agenda, with no need to like refine it or like edit it, makes so much of a difference. I'm so grateful for this artist day. I'm literally so proud of this. It came out so well. I feel like this is genuinely the power of like not thinking too much and just, feeling, like getting into the zone and just creating, like without like following a template, without like having a checklist in your head, just purely like creating.
Oh, I forgot to film my outro. So yes, that is episode 2 of the artist journey plus a day in my life vlog. If you want to follow along for the rest of my journey, I'm gonna be sharing a lot more insights and breakthroughs. And watch the first episode as well. It's on my channel. Like, save, comment, subscribe, whatever is your drift. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.